What's up, guys? Chief here from Chief Lab Gaming. Today, back in my room, strangely enough, to talk about Warhammer 40k today. And what I wanted to talk about is just some general strategy regarding this codex, the Khorne Daemonkin army. It's the army I've been playing most frequently, and it's a somewhat newer codex, so thought maybe that this would be of interest to a wider spectrum of people wanting to hear strategy and just general thoughts and general discussions about strategy related to this army, which I find really fun. So if you guys want to go ahead and join the discussion with me, just leave comments below down there, and we can talk about anything related to Khorne Daemonkin or Warhammer 40k. I'm still a pretty new player to 7th edition, so still learning and going through kind of the games with an open mind. So really had fun so far with Khorne Daemonkin, and what I really wanted to talk about specifically in this video is the idea around the special rules, which would be, if you guys don't know what this is, it's called Blood Tithe, and basically allows you to summon stuff throughout the game using these points that you generate when a unit dies. Any unit, can be friendly or enemy. A character dies, so like a sergeant of a Space Marine Tac Squad, or an independent character, if any of those die, or if one of your characters slays something in close combat. Well, could happen. So you generate these points throughout the game, and you spend them to do different things. There's a big table. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. If you guys are watching this video, most likely you understand how that works, but that's the gist of it if you don't. So let's talk about just general ways to build and spend the points. Now, when I first got this codex, my first thought was, okay, min squads, so small groups, and a bunch of them, because every time the group dies, that's 1 point. Every time the champion in that group dies, that's another point, right? So tons of cultists everywhere, and generate those points. Now that's fine. And what I found after trying that a couple games was the units arrive when they're summoned via deep strike, basically. So they eat a full turn of shooting. Sucks. And you're spending all these points to throw stuff away, which is, it can work. It's worked somewhat well for me before, but what I like to try to do now is sort of a middle ground. So you want to take some cost-effective units. You want to take a lot of units. You want to try to stay away from the point sinks. And what I mean by that are the 250 to 300 point blocks of units are not generally something you want to do, in my opinion. That's just from my experience. So taking things like groups of cultists. Now my webcam is really bad. Get in there, cultist. Yeah. Cultist surprise. Woo! Taking groups of cultists. Berserkers. Let's see if I have a berserker. Where are you? Partially painted. Not quite done. Khorne berserkers are great. Let's see. Bloodletters are okay. What else can we add? Well, it's just enough show and tell with the models, I guess. But those are generally things like, you might want to throw in a rhino and charge up some berserkers. They're pretty expensive, but they get the job done. They're good for their job. They're really good in close combat, especially if you can get the charge. And when they die, it's not the end of the world because you're getting the points back. So that's what is really cool about Khorne Daemonkin. When your stuff dies, it sucks, right? Most of the time in 40k, when you lose your units, it's terrible. You just want to protect everything, but you get that added bonus when playing Khorne Daemonkin, that you can use the points later to do things. So one of the things that I really would suggest to you, if you're watching this video and wondering how you could get an advantage with this army, is to use the formations. And the main formation, if you guys don't know, is Blood Host Detachment, I believe. Blood Host Detachment. Blood Host Detachment. It's in there. And so what you need is 1 Slaughter Cult and then 1 to 8 auxiliary choices, which are, I'm not going to go through everything. If you own that codex there, this little guy right here, then you should go through and definitely see what models you have in your possession that you can field and what that you would like for your playstyle. That's going to change more than the special rules dictating what is really strong within those auxiliary choices. But let's just talk about the Slaughter Cult. So the main benefit of getting your Slaughter Cult formation are a couple special rules. Let's see. The first one, and what I would say the most important, would be, I'm trying to find it so I can read it to you guys word for word. Let me see here. Well, I'm failing. Fail. I'm just going to give you the abridged chief version. When you spend blood tithe points, you get a second usage on the blood tithe table for 4 or less points. So if you guys are unfamiliar with the basic gist of the table, when you get to 5 points, 5, 6, 7, and 8, those are all summoning. 1, 2, 3, and 4, those are like buffs, I'll call them, for your army. One of the most important ones and the best ones is spending 3 points and you get Feel No Pain for your formation, which is insane, right? Let's think about that. So with this Slaughter Cult detachment listed in here, you can also generate 1 free blood tithe at the beginning of your turn before you spend them, which could be helpful, especially if sometimes you're just 1 point short. It could help. Free blood tithe is always good. Nothing to sneeze at. So you're getting not only extra points, which is good, but you're getting more use out of your points. So by the time you spend that 5, you're getting another use of 3. Say you want to spend 5, summon your bloodletters. You also get 3, the use of Feel No Pain for 3 points that you don't have to actually spend. You're getting it for free because of the detachment. Cool, right? Or because of the formation. Now, hopefully that's not too confusing for people that don't know what I'm talking about. I'm not doing a very eloquent job here of explaining it, but that's the basic idea, and I find that really helpful. Feel No Pain? Are you kidding me? On top of all the daemons you can take that have the 5-up invuln, on top of all the power armor you have, that's the 3-up armor save, on top of any cover saves that you might be getting if you don't have good armor, like you're sitting your cultists on an objective in ruins or something and they're getting that 4-up or 5-up cover save, and then Feel No Pain on top of that. Can't beat it, man. It's great. So the things that you need are troop choices. You need 2 troop choices. I usually take Berserkers just because I have a ton of them. I love them. You need Possessed. Possessed are okay. They can be good. And you need an HQ. Generally, I take a Chaos Lord. High leadership. Great for passing your test to summon your Bloodthirster or your Daemon Prince, if you want to do that. And he's just good. He can take a good variety of equipment. Sometimes you can throw him on a bike. You can do what you want with him. He comes in handy. What else do you need? I think that's it. It's for like the actual requirements of the detachment. So you can do it pretty, I think like 600 or 700-ish points. Yep. So that's the bare minimum. And then, unfortunately, as far as adding in cultists, you can add 0 to 2. So 2 is the maximum amount of units you can have for cultists. So they kind of, like, I mean, if you think about it, if you could take like 4 groups of 10 or 4 groups of 8 cultists, which is the minimum, that would be crazy. And it's really kind of unfortunate that that is the only way you can get cultists in formation. And I tossed around that idea a lot of switching between formation or going just combined arms and then, throwing out those tons of cultists everywhere to generate the points that way. Or you go with formation which gives you that free point every turn and better return on your points spent because you get that free feel no pain. Because when you think about it, realistically, turn 1 nothing's you're not going to spend any blood tithe. Obviously, turn 1. You're probably not going to spend any turn 2. Turn 3 is really the first turn you're going to get to spend. You want to probably get something summoned, right? Now that doesn't really do much the turn it gets summoned. So if you're lucky, turn 3 you summon something and it does something on turn 4. Now turn 4 and 5. Wow, why did I do? Look at it. Instead of doing 5 over with the thumb, I went over to the other hand. We're gonna go with it. Turn 5. The game is really close to being over, if not over, on turn 5 on variable length, right? So if you summon anything on turn 5, it's not going to do anything, most likely. It's going to be very little use. So realistically, you have 2 turns of summoning things that will impact the battle. And even saying turn 4 is kind of, by that point, unless it's a really close game, usually it's kind of swayed one way or the other. So that is something also to consider, because in your head, you know, when you're thinking about blood tithe, it's like, oh my god, that's so good. But then when you think about it realistically like that, it's great. Don't get me wrong, but it's not as powerful as it might seem. So building your army around generating the points efficiently is not necessarily going to carry you to victory or give you the best advantage. It's a great bonus. It's a great special rule, but it's not going to win you the game in and of itself, in my opinion. So I think really I've kind of said all I wanted to say, just about general stuff. I do definitely want to talk about the other formations in detail. I want to talk about more strategy on a unit basis, on a model basis, opening just army list basis. We could even talk about combined arms, cost effectiveness of units, things like that. Whatever you guys are interested in as the viewers, if you're watching this video, let me know. We can talk about it. I do a lot of research on stuff. I'm a pretty thorough investigator when it comes to 40K or whatever I'm doing. So I love talking about that stuff. Just love it. So if you guys want to leave me comments, that'd be awesome. I'd love to open up a discussion and we can just talk through comments, or I can make another video fully discussing my thoughts on that topic. Let's see. I'm just looking at my model tray to try to figure out if there's anything else I want to talk about. I want to show, I don't know how well the camera will. I just painted up my warp talons today, or yesterday. Focus. It's not gonna. I'm pretty proud of those. I'm not the greatest painter, but I try to get like the lightning claws in there to look like lightning. Meh. Could have been better, but I'm pretty happy with how they turned out. Yeah. Let's talk about Khorne Daemonkin, guys. Talk about it to me. Let's see what we can form some conversations about. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. I appreciate it. If you want to see more 40K stuff, let me know. Just give me some ideas. We can talk about them in videos. If you hate 40K, let me know. I'll be a little sad because I love it, but your opinions matter to me. Right here. They do. I promise. So, if you guys want to, I think, let me see if I can do this, if I remember to do this. I have some links here, some pictures of, I am on Patreon if you guys do want to support the channel. I'm also on Twitter and obviously YouTube where you're watching this video. If you would like to check out any of my other social media, things like where I make music on SoundCloud, stuff like that, let me know. I can provide you links to that, and they will also probably be in the description of this video. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. I'm gonna end the video here. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye now.